balloons. Hold tight, she shouted. But this time, as soon as the machine got off the ground, birds popped the balloons. Oh dear, shouted the wolf, this is never going to work. But they decided to try one more time. And the sheep had a new idea. She got the wolf to cut out a dragon's tail while she cut out the head. And this time, when they took off, it worked. They were flying. And steadily and surely they continued to fly. And someone once wrote that only those who dream learn to fly. See, said the sheep, what did I tell you? Anything is possible, admitted the wolf. And the sky before them was wide open. So today is about looking at where we are. But I look back to see where were we 18 months ago? Well, we had just called Reverend Jay, and there was a lot of enthusiasm that was bursting from being pent up from having during COVID. And there was a lot of energy and there was excitement, but not necessarily the desire to change things. Change in how we worship together. The music selections, having a time for all ages weekly, or even having an influx of new people. There were those of us who were like the sheep, dreaming of new things to try, and those like the wolf, whose first response was, "Are you crazy? That will never work." Or, "I like the way things are." So, I have to say, as a long-term member, I've been extremely proud of us these past 18 months, because we took the time and opportunity and committed to authentically listen to each other and talk to each other and give each other space and patience and resources to try new things. So when you reflect today on all that we have accomplished and how we've been enriched, and we look to our future of further dreams, I hope that you'll commit to continue your support with your presence and your vitality, your ideas and your concerns, and the resources to make our new vision and mission come true. For anything is possible. So now I'm going to invite our younger UUs to join their teachers in their classrooms to learn more about this month's theme, Liberating Love. Thank you.
Share with you now first centering words, a poem I wrote. I invite you to take a breath amidst the busyness and appointments. In this moment, just take a breath and just be here now, in this present moment now, with so much going on and so many possibilities. In a fragile world with a fragile heart, let us just take a moment to stop and be, to stop and breathe, to stop and believe that what we dream can become a reality. Let us marvel at where and who we are amidst the tumult and the turbulence of world affairs and personal tragedies. Let us remember that our presence, our participation, our investment, our invitation and openness to others makes a difference, not only in our lives, but in the lives of those around us, and to building the beloved community. As we go into a time of silent meditation and contemplation, I invite you to contemplate your presence, participation, investments, and invitations with the Unitarian Universalists of Sarasota. Now I'd like to invite John Yoda from our Board of Trustees.
Good morning. It's wonderful seeing all of you out there this morning. It's kind of a gray day, but with all of your faces smiling back at me, it's a pleasure to be with you today. Today, I'd like for you to join me in looking closely at our beloved community of members and friends. In our mind's eyes, let's take a brief visit to a place we know, love, and share, the Unitarian Universalist of Sarasota. I invite you to close your eyes for just a few minutes. Get comfortable in your seat and let the world drift away. Release all the to-dos and what-ifs in your thoughts. Relax into the moment. Take a deep breath and let it out. Take one more deep breath and let it out slowly. With your eyes still closed, Look at us now. Think about some of the special moments and experiences you've had here over the last year. Perhaps first in your mind is this sanctuary on Sunday mornings. Recall our pastor's inspiring messages, the beautiful music heard and sung. Think about the friends you've spent a few moments with before and after the service. Look at us now. Reflect on the value of our forum, our vibrant religious education program, the coffee hour, and the wonderful artwork on display every Sunday. Look at us now. Remember a special group or event you attended this year. Maybe it was a get-together dinner, a chalice group, the auction, or one of our 50 small groups which bring us closer together. Recall the members of our church staff and the many, many volunteers who work tirelessly to handle the details of our organization, who attend our beautiful grounds and make every scheduled event here comfortable. Take another deep breath. Let it out. Slowly open your eyes. This vision of our program and services is not a dream. It's real. Look at us now and consider what this UU community means to you. I became a member here 9 years ago. I was a little overcome by the sheer number of members and activities going on. I know many of you can relate to that. Slowly, I became more familiar with the programs we offer and the opportunities for service. I attended a get-together dinner. I joined a men's group. And today, I've become a member of the choir and am honored to serve as a member of the board. The more involved I become, the more I understand and value who we are collectively. In the last year, we've added 60 new members. We've changed our name, and we've approved the 8th principle as part of who we are and what we stand for. Our choir has grown to almost 40 members. We have over 50 small groups meeting regularly. Our new minister has been embraced by all of us, and in general, we are thriving as an organization. This week, each of you will receive a letter from our board president, Bill Payton, inviting you to make a financial commitment to UU of Sarasota. Look at us now. We're strong, healthy, and growing. I hope you'll join me in completing and returning the pledge card you'll be receiving. Please keep the program and services we love strong. Today, you have the opportunity to fill out that pledge card if you'd like and turn it in. I'm told that for those of us that complete the pledge card by Sunday, January 28th, our names will be entered into a drawing, and the lucky winner will get a fire kindle. Somebody told me before the service, if you don't know what that is, ask your grandkids. We, of course, are grateful to accept your offering today as well. And for those of you online, as well as those of you that are smarter than I am in using your telephone, you can make a donation going to our website and using either the QA code or clicking on the donation spot. There'll also be folks in the back after the service with pledge cards available if you need one. And we look forward to your ongoing participation and strong membership in this organization. Thank you.
I can imagine myself as Joel Grey dancing there. Okay, our next reading. What is our next reading? The Joy of Generosity by Beth Roth. The Buddha said, "If you knew as I do the power of giving, you would not let a single meal pass without sharing some of it." Generosity is this powerful for a very good reason, because it is characterized by the inner quality of letting go or relinquishing. It reverses the forces that create suffering. It is a profound antidote to the strong habits of clinging, grasping, guarding, and attachment that lead to pain and suffering. Generosity brings happiness at every stage of its expression. We experience joy in forming the intention to give. We experience joy in the act of giving. And we experience joy in remembering that we have given. As Gandhi said, the fragrance remains in the hand that gives the rose. Thank you so much. And let me just say, while they are going back to their seats, you too can join the choir. They practice every Wednesday night, and anyone is welcome to join. So if you have questions, you can see Don or any of the choir members after the service. Or any week, truthfully. So One of the goals of the board last year, or this year I should say, was to review and potentially change or revise the Unitarian Universalists of Sarasota's mission statement and to create a vision statement. So as any good board does, they created a task force to do this. And I do want to thank Brock Leach, Aubrey Phillips, Marianne Bowie, and Mary Lou Kella for their dedication to this project. We recently sent a survey to all members, and 135 of you, or approximately 30% of our members, responded. A few of you I know mentioned you struggled with the technology, but we have had and will continue to have listening sessions to hear your thoughts. As a matter of fact, next Sunday, I believe, is our next congregational conversation on the topic. Now, I do want to give you a big picture overview of the results of just a piece of the survey. So if we can pull up that first slide. One of the questions we asked was, what do you value most about being a part of this congregation? And this word cloud is a pictorial of some of the answers. So for those maybe in the back who can't see it quite clearly, community was clearly the number one thing that was valued by the respondents. Other oft-chosen words were people, values, opportunity to serve, social aspects, and social justice work. Another question we asked, which was aside from our UU theology, what other theological traditions or schools of thought are important to you? Well, there are a lot of 1% things there, so that's why you have all the names and so forth. But I do think, we often talk about pluralism as an important value, but what this survey shows is that we are well on our way to truly living into that reality. My personal favorite was Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Force. I am sorry, I did not think of that one when I filled it out. I would have voted for that. So as a reminder, though, as well, speaking as you see, humanism is by far the largest, but, and some were like there was somebody who was humanist and Buddhist. They got separated out into both. But so this Thursday night, just as a little plug here, and next Sunday online is my adult religious education class on world religions. This month we'll be focusing on humanism. So, an important question for the vision statement was, what aspirations do you have for our congregation in the next 5 to 10 years? And there were two answers that by far had the highest responses. The first was, we are a place where anyone who is looking for purpose and meaning in their lives can find belonging and be supported on life's journey. And the second one was, we are known community-wide for our leading role in addressing specific issues, examples, saving democracy, racial justice, LGBTQ support, strong public education, affordable housing for all, environmental justice. So doing the internal personal and spiritual connection and growth to nurture our spirit on the one hand, and doing the external work to help heal the world on the other hand. And you will receive more detailed information of the results of this survey over the next few months, and as well at the congregational conversation. But I did think it was important that once we had some of the responses, to reflect back to you what we heard from you. And although the vision statement is about the future, in the newsletter this week was the article entitled, "Take a Look at Us Now." It said, take a look at our growth, take a look at our outreach, take a look at our programs, and take a look at our commitment. Now, there is just not enough time to go over all the outreach and the programs that you heard John mention a little earlier that are going on here. We are active with many meaning-making programs that impact individuals' lives, both here and in the larger community. But let me say something a minute about growth. I look at growth in multiple ways: growth in participation, growth in building relationships, growth in creating that sense of belonging, growth as a functioning community, growth in individual and collective wisdom, growth in service to the larger community. And I believe if we can grow in these aspects, we will grow in size. And I think this has been proven. We've had over 90 new members since I started, which accounts for approximately 20% of congregational membership. And I know, I was like, wow. But again, right, there are many people who move away, who die. I mean, and so this is a constant need to make people aware of who we are. But the reality is it takes all of you, all of these things that we have done, it takes you to make that magic that happens here happen. Right? It requires your presence here on Sundays, which brings a level of energy, and it's a way to greet visitors as well when they come and visit us. There have to be people, they have to sense that energy. They have to sense that welcoming from every person that they meet. It requires your participation. You know, most programs are created and sustained by members, right? The choir does not happen without choir members, right? It requires you're inviting others, some that you know, to check us out, right? To invite others you know, or maybe invite people you don't know to participate in a program or an activity here. And lastly, it does require pledging. You know, I often say we ask our values to shape our actions. So I ask you to think about the value of generosity when you fill out your pledge card. You know, last week I suggested that in order to follow up on resolutions, it was important to have a why that was strong enough to make you keep going. So here's one of my whys about why I do what I do in this world. You know, when I meet people, when they visit our congregation, I often hear a common refrain: "Where have you been my whole life?" Right? So you recognize that, right? Right? And you know, this is the religion that I have been looking for all my life. And I am genuinely glad that people have found us whenever they find us. But also, in some ways, it makes me a little sad. Right? Like, how many other people are out there who have never heard our message and need it? I mean, our message is powerful. Our message is a message of hope, a message of love, right? Our message is one of a non-creedal theology that doesn't require you to repeat an oath or profess a specific belief to be a member. Our message is a message of personal and spiritual growth that encourages people to explore on their religious journey in a safe, nurturing community with others who are journeying as well. Our message is not one that promises you a heavenly afterlife if you behave, or fiery torment if you don't, but rather our message offers a relational theology of how to live in this world with all the joy and suffering and mystery that the wonders of life and death brings us. These, I think, are powerful, transforming messages. And we know there are many, many who are looking for it. You know, in the survey, there were also many write-in votes in regard to members' aspirations for creating a multi-generational community. And we have made strides this year in doing that. And I think considering 86% of the respondents were 65 years old or older, this actually makes sense, right? I mean, that is the predominance of who we are. But I want to add that we should not want to be multi-generational just because we want to grow. We need to be multi-generational because younger people need to hear our message, right? They need Unitarian Universalism in a world that has become more challenging, in a state that is becoming less welcoming. We provide a place for people to be their true selves, right? We provide a place to encourage children how to think critically, not what to think. We talk about the difficult topics that people want to address in their lives, but are often fearful of being judged in other religions. And so often people have just left religion because of that. We just have to be invitational and when people show up here, we have to be welcoming. Because, you know, the most recent National Opinion Research Centipoll with NORC, I had to look that up, what that meant. They're based out of the University of Chicago, and they do surveys periodically of the American religious landscape. And it shows that individuals with no religious affiliation has grown over the last decade from 20% to over 30%. And when asked their religious affiliation, they respond, none. And so they were given the tag nuns. So I have to say, I find the description nuns a little derogatory. I do. In a way, I mean, like a person is not a nun, a nothing, a nobody, a null, right? People are sums, not nuns. They are sums, right? A somebody, a very particular human being, a unique human creation. And if you dig into the study, these somebodies are socially liberal. These somebodies believe in science. These somebodies do not believe in biblical literalism. They are somebodies who see the religion that they have grown up in or observed as inauthentic. And these somebodies, half of them consider themselves spiritual but not religious, and the other half consider themselves atheists and agnostics. And I imagine, based on my experience, they do not realize Unitarian Universalism can be a home for atheists, agnostics, and spiritual seekers. And one other important point about this survey is that it shows that these somebodies report that they are lonelier on average than religious affiliated persons. So we are the religion for these people if we let them know we are here. If we welcome them with open arms and hearts and minds, we could change our world and their world, and they could change our world and their world. We could grow to infinity and beyond. So I use that phrase because the character Buzz Lightyear from the movie Toy Story, that was his catchphrase. How many people out there saw the movie Buzz Lightyear? Okay, about half of you. So, I mean, I know that phrase seems a little redundant, to infinity and beyond, right? But it does make me think that even beyond the known, right, there is the unknown. And even beyond the unknown, maybe there is something else. But I highly recommend the movie for those who haven't seen it, even for adults. I mean, I think there are about 4 or 5 of them now. I mean, I can only vouch for the first 3, to be honest. Then my kids grew up and I stopped seeing them. But But the movie is, I want to talk about it, the movie is about a bunch of toys in a child's room that come alive when no human beings are around. And for his birthday, the human child gets a new toy called Buzz Lightyear, who is sworn to protect the universe from the evil Emperor Zurg, sworn enemy of the Galactic Alliance. I don't know, I just like saying that. I kind of envision myself that way, right? But Buzz becomes the human boy's new favorite toy, and the boy's previous favorite toy, Woody the cowboy, and some of the other toys become very envious of Buzz, and even fearful for their own future existence. But some of the old toys gain knowledge from the new toy. The timid dinosaur toy learns from Buzz how to be more self-assured. Even envious Woody, at the end, while traveling to find his way home, admits he can't do it by himself, right? And he recognizes that they all need to work together, including using the skills and attitude of Buzz to reach their destination. But the best part of the story for me is that Buzz doesn't realize he is a toy. For most of the movie, he truly believes he is a space ranger on a mission from the Gamma Quadrant, and he believes he actually has the ability to fly, much like the story here that we heard earlier, right? But reality confronts him when he tries to fly, and he realizes his own personal limitations. You know, it's a hard thing to realize one's perceived limitations. I often say I don't know my limitations until I've passed them myself. But the question is, at that moment, right, when you pass your limitations, right, when you hit that wall, what will you do next? Will we give up? Or will we try a different way to expand our possibilities and reach a higher potential to attain our vision? Well, in the movie, despite realizing he could not fly, Buzz with Woody together used ingenuity, used knowledge and abilities that each one had. And they were able to simulate flying so that they could both get home. No one was left behind. Similar to the story that Catherine told. Some things didn't work. They tried other things. And eventually, they were able to reach their goal. And so the lesson being that we are stronger together than alone. We can expand our potential with the help of others, even if they have different ideas than we do. In fact, we can expand our potential because others have different ideas than we do. We have much that we can learn from those who are new to our congregation, and we also have much that we can teach and share with those who are newer to our congregation. We can learn how to fly, metaphorically speaking, but only if we are committed to working together to reach our common mission using our agreed upon values. So let all who need us find the Unitarian Universalists of Sarasota to be their religious home. Let us build the beloved community where all people are welcome, where all people will have the opportunity to connect with others, where all people will have the opportunity to participate, where all people will have the opportunity to learn to love. But to do this, we need you. We need you. We need your participation. We need your presence. We need your leadership. We need your love. And yes, we need your generosity. You know, I was in the CVS parking lot on Friday. I had to go pick up a prescription. And you know, as I came out of CVS, I saw the woman playing a violin there with a basket asking for donations. And there were a number of people in their cars or just standing around listening to her. But I couldn't stay for too long, so I had to leave, and I put a few dollars in the bucket. And then all of a sudden, after I went up and put money in, all of a sudden everyone else started putting money in the bucket. And some even sending their children to put money in the bucket, actually. So what we do, we model as well for children. It's a reminder that sometimes we have to be the first to act as a way to give others permission to act. I mean, they had to see that it was okay to do so. So today, I stand before you. I have filled out, no, that's not my pledge card. It was the order of service. I have filled out my pledge card with a 20% increase over last year. Thank you. And I ask you to consider doing the same. It is okay to do so. I just want to let you know that. So I invite you, as I said, we should invite each other. I invite you to make your 24-25 pledge reflect the importance of UUSRQ has on your lives now and in the future and on the future of Sarasota and Lakewood Ranch. May it be so. I invite you to rise in body and or spirit for our closing hymn, 346. Come sing a song with me. Our closing words are blessing by Donna Markova. May you live a loved life. May you never diminish your mind or limit your heart. May you stand calm in a wide moment between sky that lifts you up and a gravity that grounds you down. May you let loving unfurl you and then give you away. And may you remember, you are nest, harbor, garden. May you pass life forward, so that which came from those before you and that which grows in those next to you goes on to those who will follow you. And now join me in extinguishing the chalice. The words are up on the screen. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Thank you all for your presence here today. Go, enjoy, be merry. And if